Love me when I least deserve it, because that is when I really need it. Swedish proverb. Once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale. And I knew exactly how old Walt Disney's Cinderella felt when she found her prince. Elizabeth Young. 100 hearts would be too few to carry all my love for you. In the arithmetic of love, 1 plus 1 equals everything, and 2 minus 1 equals nothing. Mignon McLaughlin. The highest happiness on earth is the happiness of marriage. William Lyon Phelps. Nobody has ever measured, even poets, how much a heart can hold. Zelda Fitzgerald. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. Albert Einstein. Oh, the heart that is truly loved never forgets, but is truly loves on to the close. Thomas More. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. William Shakespeare. I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone. J. R. R. Tolkien. Being someone's first love may be great, but to be their last is beyond perfect. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden when the flowers are. Oscar Wilde. You are every reason, every hope and every dream I've ever had. Nicholas Sparks. True love stories never have endings. Richard Bach. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes or their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. If we look at the world with a love of life, the world will reveal its beauty to us. Daisuke Ikeda. What lies behind us, and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Marriage has no guarantees. If that's what you're looking for, go live with a car battery. Irma Bombeck. Real love amounts to withholding the truth, even when you're offered the perfect opportunity to hurt someone's feelings. David Sedaris. Only married people understand you can be miserable and happy at the same time. Chris Rock. The groom always smiles proudly because he's convinced he's accomplished something quite wonderful. The bride smiles because she's been able to convince him of it. Judith McNaught. A good marriage is like a casserole, only those responsible for it really know what goes in it. Marriage is like twirling a baton, turning a handspring, or eating with chopsticks. It looks easy until you try it. Helen Rowland. Marrying a man is like buying something you've been admiring for a long time in a shop window. You may love it when you get it home, but it doesn't always go with everything else. Gene Kerr. Love is a lot like a backache. It doesn't show up on X-rays, but you know it's there. George Burns. I love you more than coffee, but please don't make me prove it. Elizabeth Evans. All my friends are getting married. I guess I'm just at that age where people give up. Amy Schumer. You can't put a price tag on love. But if you could, I'd wait for it to go on sale. Hussein Nisha. I love being married. It's so great to find one special person you want to annoy for the rest of your life. Rita Rudner. Being a good husband is like being a stand-up comic. You need 10 years before you can call yourself a beginner. Jerry Seinfeld. If you can stay in love for more than 2 years, you're on something. Fran Lebowitz. True love is the greatest thing in the world, except for a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce and tomato sandwich, where the mutton is nice and lean and the tomato is ripe. The Princess Bride. The ideal husband understands every word his wife doesn't say. Alfred Hitchcock. A happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers. Robert Quillen. We are all a little weird and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. Dr. Seuss. An archaeologist is the best husband a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. Agatha Christie. Is it love that makes the impossible possible? Indian proverb. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." Genesis. For as a young man marries a young woman, so shall your sons marry you, and as the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall your God rejoice over you. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Faith makes all things possible. Love makes all things easy. Dwight Moody. Love is like a friendship caught on fire. Jeremy Taylor. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. I don't wish to be everything to everyone, but I would like to be something to someone. When you make the sacrifice in marriage, you're sacrificing not to each other but to unity in a relationship. Joseph Campbell. Love is not something you feel. It is something you do. David Wilkerson. Keep alert, stand firm in your faith, be courageous, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. And now these three remain: faith, hope and love. But the greatest of these is love. Before we met, I was as lost as a person could be, and yet you saw something in me that somehow gave me direction again. Nights in Rodanthe. When you look for the right person, you always end up with the wrong one. But when you just sit by the corner and wait, he comes along and shares the corner with you. Love is life. And if you miss love, you miss life. Leo Buscaglia. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Lao Tzu. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss. Grief can take care of itself. But to get the full value of joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Mark Twain. You will find, as you look back upon your life, that the moments when you have truly lived are the moments when you have done things in the spirit of love. Henry Drummond. Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile. Franklin P. Jones. I vow to fiercely love you in all your forms, now and forever. I promise to never forget that this is a once-in-a-lifetime love. The vow. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person. Mignon McLaughlin. A good marriage is one which allows for change and growth in the individuals and in the way they express their love. Pearl S. Buck. The greatest marriages are built on teamwork. A mutual respect, a healthy dose of admiration, and a never-ending portion of love and grace. Fawn Weaver. In a marriage, each partner is to be an encourager rather than a critic, a forgiver rather than a collector of hurts, and enabler rather than a reformer. H. Norman Wright. The real act of marriage takes place in the heart, not in the ballroom or church or synagogue. It's a choice you make on your wedding day, and over again, and that choice is reflected in the way you treat your husband. Barbara de Angelis. There is no such thing as a perfect man or a perfect marriage. But the one I have is perfect for me. Fawn Weaver. Remember, we all stumble, every one of us. That is why it's a comfort to go hand in hand. Emily Kimbrough. The beauty of marriage is not always seen from the very beginning, but rather as love grows and develops over time. Fawn Weaver. A marriage is not a noun, it's a verb. It isn't something you get. It's the way you love your partner every day. Barbara de Angelis. To love or have loved, that is enough. Ask nothing more. Victor Hugo. Marriage is the highest state of friendship. If happy, it lessens our cares by dividing them, at the same time that it doubles our pleasures by mutual participation. Samuel Richardson. You don't marry the person you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. You should be kissed and often, and by someone who knows how. Margaret Mitchell. Marriages, like a garden, take time to grow. But the harvest is rich unto those who patiently and tenderly care for the ground. Darlene Schacht. Marriage is like twirling a baton, turning a handspring, or eating with chopsticks. It looks easy until you try it. Helen Rollin. 'Tis better to have loved and lost, than never to have loved at all. Alfred Lord Tennyson. A happy marriage is a long conversation which always seems too short. Audrey Morwa. For you see, each day I love you more. Today more than yesterday and less than tomorrow. Rosamund Gerard. I love you, not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. I love you, not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. Roy Croft. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. Maya Angelou. Walking with your hands in mine and mine in yours. That's exactly where I want to be always. Fawn Weaver. Two souls with but a single thought, two hearts that beat as one. John Keats. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Emily Bronte. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus one day, so I never have to live without you. A. Milne. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Khalil Gibran. Love is not about staring at each other, but staring off in the same direction. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Your white eyes are the only light I know from extinguished constellations. Pablo Neruda. By my soul, I can neither eat, drink, nor sleep, nor, what's still worse, love any woman in the world but her. Samuel Richardson. You and I, it's as though we have been taught to kiss in heaven and sent down to earth together, to see if we know what we were taught. Boris Pasternak. What greater thing is there for two human souls, than to feel that they are joined for life, to strengthen each other in all labor, to rest on each other in all sorrow, to minister to each other in all pain, to be with each other in silent unspeakable memories at the moment of the last parting. George Eliot. Chains do not hold a marriage together. It is threads, hundreds of tiny threads which sew people together through the years. Simone Signoret. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love, and be loved in return. Moulin Rouge. It doesn't matter if the guy is perfect or the girl is perfect, as long as they are perfect for each other. Good Will Hunting. But the heart's not like a box that gets filled up. It expands in size the more you love her. When you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. When Harry Met Sally. If you're thinking of getting married, you might as well learn right now that you have to let women be women. Hello, Dolly. Sexiness wears thin after a while, and beauty fades. But to be married to a man who makes you laugh every day, now that's a real treat. Joanne Woodward. Marriage is like a tense, unfunny version of Everybody Loves Raymond, only it doesn't last 22 minutes. It lasts forever, knocked up. For it was not into my ear you whispered, but into my heart. It was not my lips you kissed, but my soul. Judy Garland. When I sleep, I dream of you, and when I wake, I long to hold you in my arms. If anything, our time apart has only made me more certain that I want to spend my nights by your side, and my days with your heart, nights in Rodanthe. In all the world, there is no heart for me like yours. In all the world, there is no love for you like mine. Maya Angelou.